Good afternoon. Welcome to the January 16th, 2024 Board of Works and Public Safety. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Diana Phillips.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Horny, come on, sir.
Father God, we just ask you to let your Holy Spirit lead every decision here, God. We know your word says that the government rests upon your shoulders, Jesus. And we just need your leading and guiding. And I just pray for protection over everyone here, Lord. And we just pray, God, for this city. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone. Make sure your cell phone ringers are off. We will begin with roll call.
Brian Dobb. Becky Gibson.
Here.
Diana Phillips.
Present.
Jim Barrett.
Okay, everyone has the minutes from the January 2nd, 2023 regular meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Move on down to new business. Brad, you want to come talk about the right-of-way work for BSM?
I'll just tell you, I checked it out, it's okay. I recommend it.
Anybody have any questions? If not, I'd like to entertain a motion to entertain approving the right-of-way application.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Move on to department matters. Director Colter.
No, you missed one. Right under Discover Connersville.
I have, this is an updated agenda. I apologize. I have the old one, sorry. Discover Connersville. Come on up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guess I should get the right agenda, shouldn't I?
I would have yelled at you really hard, yeah. Hi, I'm Carolyn Bunsendahl, and I'm currently the president of Discover Connersville. Discover Connersville is your Main Street organization. Our primary mission, of course, is to help revitalize downtown, and parts of that are happening, and so thanks to all of you for the lights. I couldn't get by without mentioning how much they've really improved things downtown. That's wonderful. That's our mission, is to revitalize downtown. We also are adopting a slogan that actually Brayton Johns came up with. And if any one of you want to go down to his store and buy a sticker, make downtown Connersville cool again, we're all going by that hashtag. And he has stickers for sale, and you can put them any place you want, on your forehead, on your water bottle, whatever. Part of our mission also includes administering the revolving loan fund. And so we go through a process when people do apply. It's open for any business or business owner or business occupant in our downtown district to apply, and all that information will soon be on our website that's being revitalized also. But we do have another application that I've come to the Board of Works. You're part of the process of that, is when we get everything together, then we come to the Board of Works for approval or questions or whatever, because the city is actually the administrator of the funds. And so Rosemary's not here right now, but we'll bring her up to speed on all this. We have an application from R&R Remedial LLC.
I'll be right back. I gotta get a minute.
Oh, okay. The principals of that particular organization are Randy Wolf and Ron Taylor. They are in the process and almost complete with rehabilitating the remedial building. For those of you who have been around a while, you know where the remedial building is. And if you haven't been in it recently, I urge you to go down there. You will just be so pleased. It's amazing what they have done. And as part of rehabbing that whole building, obviously, they're renting out their suites to businesses. So far, and their rehab is almost complete. I know they've got some work to do down in the basement and so on and so forth. And they want some more pictures on the wall, but So far, they have 7 businesses in those suites. They have 1 more to rent out. Most of those 7 businesses are brand new to Connersville. So it's working. It really is working, getting more downtown businesses. Anyway, when we voted on this particular application for a loan, Randy is, R&R has asked for $30,000 for 5 years, and our loans are at 3% interest. When we voted on this at our Discover Connersville meeting, Randy reclused himself. I want to make sure that's in the record because he is a member of our board. But anyway, that's the application that you have before you, or I'm bringing to you. And like I say, part of that process is for the Board of Works to also approve or ask any questions. Are there any questions?
No questions?
Motion to approve the request.
Second.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll get with Rosemary. Just an FYI too, we're getting ready to, as Discover Connersville, this is called a revolving loan fund, and we have several outstanding loans now, and that almost depletes our funds. Of course, they're coming back in with interest. The interest we can do with what is needed, but we are getting ready to apply to USDA for more money, so we may be coming to you guys for a letter of approval for that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we can move down to department matters. Director Colter.
Howdy.
Hello.
First, I have made small adjustments and changes in our work rules at the Connersville Utilities. There is one word in the section A right there on the first page, about halfway down where it says his or her staff, that should say shift. So if it's up to you, if you want to go ahead and approve them, contingent on me making that change. That's the only thing I think that anybody found.
I see staff
Yes.
shift.
See where it says, it says his or her staff right there on the left-hand side.
gotcha.
Should be shift. We just updated a few of these. No super major changes, but just tightened up a few sections, a couple of things that were left out. Marla and I have been discussing implementing rules very similar to these in the street and park department too. We thought it'd be super nice if we had the same rules going for all the employees if we can work it out.
I move to approve the revision, including the most recent one that you pointed out today.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
If you remember, a year ago, I asked you to approve a contract with Penny Jobe to come work at the office for us part-time. She has been our very experienced accounting and bookkeeping person in some of the areas that she's very knowledgeable about, or Shelley can tell you. She's very knowledgeable on some of the intricate details of our bonds and different things like that that are pretty tough. So every now and then when we need some extra help, she comes in and helps us, and I wanted you to approve that for the next year also. I'd say she works I'd say about 5 or 6 days a month or something like that, wouldn't you, Shelley, say, on the usual? Yeah.
Well, it says a maximum of 80 hours per month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Motion to approve his request.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I've mentioned to you a couple times that we're moving forward to try to get our, it's gonna be called number 6 water well. It will replace number 4 that we took out of service a few years ago. We're moving forward, trying to get the preliminaries all together, and I'm asking you to approve the engineering part of this project with Wessler's. I think you've looked at it. I sent it to you so you could look it over. This project, just like every other one, you know, we put a number to it, and by the time you get done with it, it's twice as much as you thought it was gonna be. But it's part of it. We needed the engineering. We were gonna try to keep the engineering pretty small, but Peerless had an engineer on staff that retired, and it just kept turning into more and more, so I got Wessler's to give us this proposal.
Well, they've worked for Connersville before, and they get Wessler, so. Motion to approve Brad's request.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
This next item is the same thing. This is the proposal to do the preliminary drilling that will check out the well site that we've picked and make sure that it's adequate and proper place to be. The trouble we had with number 4 well was iron content, so these are the kind of things that they're looking for when they do a test drill. So I might have mentioned before the other proposal, we're trying to really keep moving here to keep this thing. We've got as soon as we get these 2 things done, we've got a 4-month waiting period to get our DNR permitting, and there's a couple other permits with IDEM that we have to obtain, so we got to get this test drill done. So I've been trying to rush it along so we can get this, keep this thing going, and try to have this well installed, operational by the end of the year is the goal.
I move to approve.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Chief Hardin.
Good afternoon.
Good
Aye.
afternoon.
Received a notification for the retirement of Christopher Blades. He's been an EMT with us for quite some time. So I am requesting permission to accept his retirement effective 1/22. And then if do you want to do it separate, you want to do it together?
Do them separate.
You want to do it separate? Okay.
We have a motion to accept the retirement of Christopher Blades.
So moved.
We
Second.
have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Alright. And then I would like to promote one of our part-time EMTs, Audrey Isaacs. She's been with us since May of last year. She was brand spanking new, really has come along, really good to work with. I'd like to promote her to full-time.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Alright,
Thank you. Chief Jones.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
Everyone should have a copy of the letter that I submitted, basically asking for an extension for one of my guys that's currently in the EMT class. The required time that we allow them to get the certification, the class that he's currently in, is going to overlap that. Like his class should be over by the end of this month, and then give him the opportunity to pass his written exam. So I was asking for an extension through June 1st on this.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another second, you're next anyway.
That's what I was checking, just to make sure.
I got one more thing of business I needed, that I forgot to bring up. Do you want me to?
No, we can do it on your report. You'll be fine.
Okay.
We're still on a new business.
Okay, moving on to the monthly report for the Connersville Fire Department. We're gonna kind of, the year-end totals, we'll hit them as we go, as they are kind of running totals on my report. Anyway, we'll start with overtime for December. The total overtime was $9,286.93. The actual manpower shortage portion of that was $7,968.79, and then the scheduled overtime, which is FLSA, was $1,318.14. You can see the total over to the side for the year was a total of $59,245.62. For the year, we come in under budget, which is always good, and then you can see compared to the last 2 years, we also came in pretty good compared to the last 2 years. So we did have a decent year as far as overtime goes. Any questions on that? We'll move on down to fuel usage. Fuel usage for December, we used a total of 415 gallons. The total cost of that was $1,751.70. And then for the totals for the year, you can see that we used a total of 4,821 gallons of fuel, just shy of $20,000 for total cost of fuel. Incidents for the month of December, we had a total of 201 incidents. 28 of those were fire related, 162 were EMS related, and had 11 auto accidents. That brings the total for the year of 2,109 total incidents. 450 of those were fire related, 1,539 were EMS related, and we had a total of 120 auto accidents for the year. Moving on down to training hours. For December, we had a total of 61 and a half instructed hours of training. 58 and a half of those were fire related, 3 hours were EMS related training. We've had a lot more fire related training lately due to the equipment, the new equipment stuff we've gotten in, so guys are doing a lot of training on that, and that's considered fire related training. For the year total, we had 753 and a half total instructed hours of training. Moving on down to inspections, for the month of December, we had 8 inspections and a total of 201 inspections for the whole year. Fire investigation hours, we had 8 hours of fire investigations for a total of 143.25 hours for the entire year. Below that, I just listed a few things to note for the year. We did receive the training container that we were awarded a grant for the previous year. We did receive that this year. We've been using that periodically, weather permitting, and then that will also be able to be added in the future to any other type of training containers that we do purchase, so that will be nice. That we did put on 2 state certified courses for everyone at the department. We put on a driver operator certification course. The guys that took that and passed that test or passed that class did get a certificate for driver operator, which also helps with our ISO. They do. That was one of the main reasons we put that on. It does help give us points for our ISO score. And then we also put on a rope rescue technician class. We had several guys that took that class and got certified as rope rescue technician. We placed the order for the new ladder truck to replace the one that's 30 years old. We're excited to get that, so we appreciate that. Obviously ordered and did receive our new SCBAs. We're still training with those. They're new masks, so we're having to try to adapt a little bit. We're having trouble getting the masks to seal up well on some of our guys. I do have the actual rep from the company coming this afternoon to try to look and address some of those issues. So we're excited to get those in service as soon as we can, iron out all those issues. And then we obviously finally got all the radios in, and obviously we're excited to start using those along with the SCBAs when we get all the bugs out. But that's about all I have for the year. Any questions on any of that? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Phillips.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
All right, so you've got my year-end total sheet. It also includes December's totals. Down to fuel usage, our last month was 1,700. Our yearly gas total gallons is 23,500 gallons of fuel that we used last year. Any questions on those totals? Down to our incidents, you guys have a copy of all of our incidents also. As far as accidents went, we had a total of 511 accidents in the city. 11 of those were involved in trestle. We had a total of 12,683 incidents through the year. Any questions on those? Any of our incidents? So going into our totals for last year, 23, as far as our department training, we had emergency vehicle operator training, 82 hours. Our mandated topics, we had 127 hours. Use of force, 91 hours. Firearms, 344 hours. And general, which includes ILEA, the academy, 2,271 hours there, for a total of 2,915 training hours for 23. Our K-9 division, they had 264 hours of training, whether it be here or outside of here. They did 12 school searches and 41 demos. For our detective division, last year they took in 205 cases. They currently have 11 that are open or active out of 205. I think that's pretty good work for them. Our drug totals for 23 is 446 grams of marijuana, 224 grams of heroin fentanyl, 537 grams of meth, 4 grams of cocaine, 1,305 pills, 58 grams of mushrooms, 139 items of paraphernalia, 867 needles that we picked up to the community. We took in 9 guns that were drug related, and a total of just over $42,000 in cash. Some highlights for that we received last year, equipment wise. We received 5 vehicles to help update our fleet that was in bad shape beginning a couple years ago. In every vehicle we put in stop sticks in all the patrol vehicles. Out of the 5, we got 4 Chargers and 1 Durango. We also got an emergency response vehicle that we're gonna hopefully get to this year. That'll come in handy for all departments in the city. We also got in a respiratory mask for every officer to keep with them or in their vehicles. Updated our tasers. Everybody got new tasers, and we're happy that we got our 800 radios. Still waiting on a couple pieces of equipment, but that helps out all departments in the city to be able to communicate with each other. And also, we finally got a much needed update for our SWAT team, which includes some ballistic helmets, helmet comms, and ballistic shields, and some other things that we're in terrible need of. So all in all, pretty good year as far as equipment, and we thank you guys. Things to look ahead for 24 real quick. Something that I want to implement is a teen cadet academy, and we're myself and Deputy Chief McCurry are looking into a curriculum for that. It just gives teen high school age kids an opportunity to see what police work's all about. It's kind of like a mini police academy. We go through some of our training that we go through, so that opens their eyes on what the police department actually does. So hopefully that's coming in the near future. Any questions on those?
Just a comment, I think your idea on the teen police thing is a very good thing,
Yeah.
to let people know what you do, and maybe they'll have a little more respect.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wolf.
Good afternoon.
Aye.
I'll be providing the 2023 recap for the ordinance office. Last year, between myself and the prior ordinance officer, we completed 439 separate violations were addressed, with 18 specific violations throughout the whole year. Out of those 18, 10 accounted for 97% of all interactions, so I'm going to cover those with you right now. 159 incidents were related to grass and weed abatement, 121 related to trash and rubbish, 91 incidents related to junk and abandoned vehicles or improper registration, 10 related to obstructing sidewalks and streets with vehicles, 21 incidents to indoor furniture such as mattresses, love seats, couches, things of that nature being left outside the home. 7 incidents related to dangerous buildings, 7 related to the ceiling of vacant buildings, 4 incidents related to noise, 3 relating to animals, and 2 of those incidents relating to signage. Out of those 439 violations, 208 of those I personally addressed since starting this position on September 11th of 2023. I got several large projects that we started this year that I will be carrying over into the new year and continuing to stay focused on and following up. Some are on weekly follow-ups, some are on monthly follow-ups to get those completely abated, and then after that we'll be following up a little less periodically, but just to make sure that they don't begin again. So going forward in 2024, I plan to continue to update the ordinance enforcement website to be able to provide more information to the citizens of the county and the city. Continue to address each and every individual code enforcement issue on the day, if possible, when it's reported to me. And then I've also broken it up into 2 project areas that I'd like to tackle this year. One I call focus areas, one is first impressions. So on focus areas, I have taken the city and broke it up into 7 different segments. And each of those segments, I will try to complete one a month, where I visit every house in that sector that I've identified and will address and notify and speak to every person that has a violation to try to get that neighborhood and that area cleaned up. I'm also going to try to work with some of those people in those areas to build volunteer lists of people who can get out and help those who are physically unable to do the work themselves. And I've got a few people who have already volunteered in a couple areas of town that are willing to get out and get some free assistance to those people in need. Second thing I want to work on is what I call first impressions. And that's all our in and out routes into town. I've broken down all the main roads leading into and through the city into 14 different sections. 2 different zones I will be covering each month to bring them into compliance. So as you're coming in on 44 or going out on 44, for example, if you're coming in on 121 or if you're coming in on 1. Each of those are broke down, and then there's some, as you get into town, there's smaller segments because there's more houses. As I said, 2 different zones will be addressed each month to bring them into compliance, and then once in compliance, all 14 zones will be toured 1 day per month to make sure that they don't get back up into the issues of violations again. And I think that'll help beautify the city, make it better, make it more appealing to get people to come to Connersville again.
Absolutely.
Sounds
Any questions for me?
Sounds like a good plan.
Good plan.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Director Colter.
Good, you got it. I just threw this at John like 3 minutes ago to get him to post these, so I forgot. Thank you, John. This is Gary Winstead. He I didn't have it in time to give it to you for the packets, but He's going to be retiring as of January 31st. Where would I even start to talk about that guy? He's just been one of our best. He started in 1980, so that means he's got almost 44 years. Can't remember exactly what month, but he was always there. He was always willing to come in. Every time we was working overtime, he'd be there. I mean, I just can't say enough good about Gary, and he was fun, kept things light, and we always had a good time with him on top of everything. He's just one of the best. I wish I had 35 more of him. He's a good one, so we will miss him, but I respectfully ask you to grant his retirement in January 31st.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I wanted to tell you about, that was the item I had forgotten under. But I wanted to tell you that the road dig that I told you about a couple weeks ago is starting tomorrow. Brackney's gonna be here, it's gonna warm up a little tomorrow, so they're gonna start the dig over in front of the, not in front of the firehouse, but between the firehouse and the liquor store there. And it's kind of an exploratory project, so we'll see what we find once we cut the concrete and start digging. So I'm gonna be over there pretty close on that, trying to manage the cost and just all of it, so it should be interesting. I wanted to remind people, we've been having a lot of trouble with people having their totes turn around sideways or turn around backwards. It makes it almost impossible to pick them up, especially if the lids are open and they have them all the way turned around backwards. We can't pick them up. And a lot of people probably don't realize it, but those guys have about 800 or more totes to pick up every day, and there's just no way they can get out and turn 15, 20, 30 totes around, so a lot of times we just have to leave them. And a lot of times if it's the first time or whatever, we'll go back and we'll send somebody back to try to get them, but please try to have those facing the right direction. If you're on Facebook, you've probably seen the pictures I've been posting. The lid should open like this when you're looking at it from the street. And that's how it's supposed to be sitting with the bar in the front. So if you could just pay special attention to make sure those are the right way, it helps everything go much more efficiently. I wanted to commend the street department a little bit. We really finished out the year strong over there. We have worked those guys hard the fall and the winter months. They got all the Christmas stuff set up, and they provide almost all the muscle for that. And then they had to turn around and tear it down this last few weeks. All the while trying to pick up leaves and do their regular duties. So it's a lot of extra work, and I really appreciate them. The park, I know, helped a lot too, getting stuff down there, and so did the guys at the utilities. So thanks a lot. If you see any of those people, thank them for all their hard work this fall. I also want to give credit to the utility guys. They've been working hard to keep everybody's water from freezing up. When you get these temperatures like this, people start freezing up from the house out, and then we get meter pits that are frozen. So they've really been hustling around, checking out people's problems and trying to, they go the extra mile trying to give advice and keep people flowing. I didn't have anything in particular on my reports that I wanted to highlight. I guess I've talked to you about the well a little bit. Things are coming to a head with Glenwood. I keep talking to you about that project. We're having meetings and talks about whether that's feasible or not. Been working hard these last few months on financial planning with this water bond that's coming up, and trying to get this well installed. We've got these radios I told you about last meeting. A lot of big expenditures and trying to move money around to get everything situated just right. So that's been a concern, and a lot of planning going into that. Also, we've been working on the technical plan reviews for Reed. That was approved drainage review and all that is finished. They're wrapping up some of the other water, sewer, and all that reviews right now. And also, they got their design release over to Shell, and those drainage reviews and things on that has been moving forward, so. Any questions?
No, I don't have a question, but I would like to extend our thanks and congratulations to Mr. Winstead.
Yeah.
For his
Yes,
retirement.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Director Powley.
I get my graphic up there too. First, for the month of December, we had 7 hours, 37 minutes of meeting production, 19 hours, 19 minutes of original production. For the month, our analytics on YouTube showed 11,641 views, or 2,100 hours of viewing, with 3,479 subscribers. That was the monthly report. Moving on to the annual report, which you have in your red binder there. The first page, as you open, is a reflection of all of our programming comparisons and covers everything you'll see on the next 6 pages, which is a breakdown of all of our productions for the year. It's easier just to read it all on one page because it just makes it all really simple. But if you want to go through all of those pages, you can see exactly how many hours we spent on each particular production all the way through the year. And then on page 6, of course, begins the event productions we do through the year, which includes sports production. On page 8, you can see our analytical breakdown for our online presence, which is very interesting as well, because you can see growth through the year beginning in 2019 on this particular graph. For YouTube, we jumped quite a bit. We're up to 109,889 views last year, which represents 17,954 minutes of viewing. And like I said before, 3,489 subscribers. Below that is all of our Facebook presence, which is, first of all, we've got the local TV3 page. That's the TV3 actual Facebook page. And we increased huge amounts of reach last year, jumping from 26,000 to 108,000. Reach is where people actually see what we're doing. So they'll, it could be sharing, it could be commenting on, it could be looking at, and they calculate that on Facebook. Dropping below that, you'll see City of Connersville, which I also manage, also increased quite a bit. We've got 5,500 followers there and had a reach of 178,900. So that's fantastic. That means people are really paying attention to the City of Connersville page as well as the TV3 page. More so the City of Connersville page. It's a little bit higher. Down below that is the community calendar, which is a little bit lower on what people are viewing, but we also expand on that. Anything related to the city also goes to the City of Connersville page and TV3 page, so it's kind of duplicated. And then finally, the Connersville Indiana job postings site, which is a group that I manage, and it has 4,500 subscribers on there. And that's just so that we can share jobs in the community. That is a constant upkeep because I have to constantly monitor that to keep out spam. You just wouldn't believe what people try to post in there. So it is monitored all the time. It comes to my phone, and then I can approve, what goes out. So that keeps us sharing. And then I also go out and find job announcements. We get shared a lot of that with Channel 3, and it duplicates to this as well. And then people then share that throughout the community, which helps a lot. The next few pages are just our breakdown on balance sheets for the year. And you can see that we were under budget last year. We always strive to be under budget. And the reason why, of course, is that we have to be careful. Our income is guided only by the franchise fees right now, which are declining. So we have to be careful how we spend our money. And then the final page is the photographs for last year. Just a quick breakdown of that. Just shows you kind of some of the things we did. You'll notice the mayor in the upper right-hand corner. And he's up there as well. But he happened to be at a football game and volunteered, so we stuck him up on the roof. And hopefully he had fun up there.
I had fun. It was
He
cold,
looks
but I
like
had fun.
It can be cold up there. And then you can see some of the other outreach we do in the community. We do a lot of sports production. We work with the park system. We helped with the food truck battle, setting up the stage and lighting, and just a lot of stuff like that, as well as the sports report that we do every week. And then we also do a lot of musical production and help wherever we're needed in the city. Any questions on the report? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Job.
Thanks.
Chief Hardin.
Hello?
Hello.
Should have a copy of my monthly report for December 23. Had a total of 353 calls for service, so that puts us for the year 2023 at 3,858. Staffing report had one EMT off on workman's comp. You can see fuel usage and the fuel tax rebate submissions below that. Not a lot of details in this one. I kind of had to. This one kind of had to be hurried at the last minute. I was actually out and actually came in to do this because I kind of snuck up on me. So there's not a huge lot of details. That doesn't make sense. A huge amount of details. And we'll have some. I'll have a 2023 comprehensive report next year or next month for everyone. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Steele.
Hi.
Just a couple things on this month's report that I want to talk about, and then I'll go into my packet that you have in front of you. We are currently accepting applications for lifeguards and pool concessions. So that's going on right now. I'd really like to get lifeguard applications in so that we can schedule our lifeguard certification class. I'm working with a lady that has been teaching it through the years, and she's going to teach it again this year for us. And so I really want to make sure that we can have that date set. So we have the applications going out right now for that position. We would love to see a lot more lifeguards this year. So the earlier we can start, the better. And then soccer registrations are currently open as well for spring soccer. They'll go through, I think it's the middle of February. We will end the registration. So those are currently open as well. So I just wanted to touch on those because that's currently what's going on. So to our, and the Longwood Bridge, sorry. They did pour the concrete for the footers, and they have been moving dirt around to each side of the entrance. And so you'll see work going on there. It just depends on the weather. But their goal is to be there weekly working and getting that set. So it is making some progression there. So to my report, I did it this way for multiple reasons. This packet that you have in front of you, we're going to be actually presenting this packet to different businesses and organizations in town to take and talk to them about the things that we do at the park, and then different sponsorship opportunities that they have. So the first couple pages, you'll see there's a table of contents. By the numbers, these are just the numbers that I took from last year as far as how many youth participated, how many facilities we rented out, how many participated in patrons at the pool, different numbers, and you'll see these throughout the packet as well. And then what it's going to show through the first couple pages are different areas that you can sponsor. So we have youth sponsors, adult sponsors, Summer Discovery Camp. We typically don't do a lot of sponsorship for them, except for we try to have an event at the end of the season for them. We make it a very special day, and so we try to incorporate all of our sponsorships on that day. And we go all out. We get them pizza. We had Kona Ice last year. We play games. We do a lot of things. We also take field trips and have different guest speakers come in. So these are different areas. Living Well Aging Well, we have sponsorship opportunities here. We did receive a grant from Reed Health last year, and this program is actually going to be taking off next month. We have a lot in the works with this program, and we're going to start implementing those services next month. So we're excited about that. The special events, these are the events that we have throughout the year, such as our Trunk or Treat, our Renaissance Fair, bunnies and brownies, and different activities that we do. So there's different levels that anyone can sponsor of their choosing. And then the next couple pages just talks a little bit about those events that we did last year. So bunnies and brownies, the Discovery Camp Farewell Day, First Responders Trunk or Treat, the Renaissance Fair, Christmas in the Park. And I just want to give a huge shout out to Rick Lemon. He took a lot of pictures at the park, and so I'm using those in this packet. They were great pictures, and he posted those on Facebook, so I want to thank him for those. Our Christmas in the Park event that we had, we do the carriage rides, and we let the families come in, and then Channel 3 takes our pictures for us and puts that on live TV. And then we did the People's Choice Awards this year, and that went over really well. That was huge. We had so many people vote on that, and they were excited to receive their. I didn't go with the 6-foot trophy, I know, but I did go with the 3.5-foot trophy. So they got a big trophy. And then our dog park sponsorships, the Connersville Veterinarian Clinic, they do a clinic at the park every year for vaccinations, and they donate that money to the park to help upkeep the dog park. We also have dedicate a tree in memory of a loved one, and we're going to also provide a bench, dedicate a bench if anyone would like to participate in that. And these are just some fun facts about parks, did you know? And ways to give. And then the next page just talks about all of our different sponsors that we had for the year of 2023 and how much money was sponsored for the year. So without all of these wonderful sponsors, our events wouldn't have been as successful, I don't believe so. And then who to contact if they would like to sponsor in 2024. And then the next is the annual report. This is just a breakdown of, well, the first one is meet our team. So this is everybody that is at the park year-round. We have a wonderful team. I'm very blessed by all of these people. They're hard workers, and they really take pride in the parks that we have here in our city. The board, I do have one slight change that will happen this year. Carrie Piper, she has stepped down, and Sasha Henderson will be the new board member as of this month. So that is the slight change in our board for this year. And then the next couple pages are all of the different areas that we rent out, the different buildings, our shelters, and it just gives a brief description of all of the pricing, what is provided at all of those different locations. And it goes through the Miller Building as well. And then the dog park, our membership there. And then I talk about Roberts Park. We had 8,264 patrons in 2023, and so we are excited for this upcoming season, and we're looking forward to all that are wanting to come back to work. We do have quite a few that are wanting to come back, and then hopefully all of the new ones that will participate as well. Summer Discovery Camp, we had 132 registered campers for the summer. And with our youth sports, we had 434 baseball players. That does include t-ball and softball as well as the baseball. And then 426 basketball players and 845 soccer players this year. And then on page 11, we have the rental report. So I broke it down for each location, building, and then also the shelters on how often they were rented throughout the year, and then the total revenue that was brought in for those rentals. And we rented out everything for, there was 977 rentals last year. And then for our sponsorships, I just go over the same amounts that you saw before in our sponsorships on that page as well. So it just carries those numbers over. And for our volunteer hours, we had 1,023 hours recorded of volunteer work at the parks this year, or in last year. And I designated those areas on where we had volunteers. And those were great opportunities. So I want to encourage more volunteers this year. We have work that can be done all the time. So if anyone is interested in volunteering, we would love to have you at the park. And then we have this app that you can, or this QR code that anyone can scan. And this, it gives everyone an option to download the app that we have at the park. And it gives information, there's pictures on there. It'll talk about registrations. You can register online. It gives all of our information. So we want to make sure that we get that out into the community. And so we added the QR code to the back. John helped me with that. So, does anybody have any questions about my report?
Thank you for.
Very nice report.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then on down to old business. Anyone have any old business? Miscellaneous business? Claims?
Okay. So we have just the numbers, the city claims in the amount of $206,169.77. Payroll in the amount of $642,480.18. And utilities in $1,106,610.61.
Motion to approve the claims?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Anyone out there from the public, Clint? Take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Have a good afternoon.
Hang on, there's